to our next news. The United Nations Special Rapporteur for the occupied Palestinian territory, Francesca Albanese, urged countries to take immediate action to halt what she described as Israel's genocide in Gaza. Speaking at a two-day international conference of the Hague group in Bogota, Colombia, Albanese called for the full suspension of political and economic ties with Israel. Let's listen into what she had to say.
There is no one who has clean hands when it comes to Palestine. And this is not because of bad intentions of states, it's because of the interconnectedness of the global world we are part of. And therefore, there are economic and financial ties that bring also the global majority, countries in the global majority, including South Africa and Colombia, Malaysia, into this. Now, if these member states decided to stop the provision of coal to Israel and other raw materials and resources, because this is something that comes primarily from the global majority, it would have such an impact.
The Hague bloc is a bloc of nations that have pledged to end military support to Israel and uphold the ICC's arrest warrant for Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The bloc is co-chaired by Colombia and South Africa. Additionally, the Hague bloc also reaffirmed their support to Palestine. Let's listen into what the Colombian foreign minister had to say.
Hoy, desde Bogotá, reafirmamos, Palestina no está sola. Que esta reunión marque el inicio de una acción conjunta, firme y transformadora.
Albanese warned that Israel's economy was structured to sustain the occupation and urged both governments and private sectors to cut all links. Albanese also further said that the U.S. was totally complicit in Israel's ongoing war in Gaza. Let's listen into her comments.
I do believe that the US is totally complicit with whatever Israel is doing, but to the point that with the new administration, even the forced displacement of the Palestinians, which has occurred for decades under the watch of everyone, including the United States, has become part of the US foreign policy, while declaring that Gaza is a construction site, is to be turned into the Gaza Riviera, and the Riviera of the Mediterranean Sea. And also the US is clear, not only has provided weapons, is the first arms suppliers of Israel, followed by Germany, against which there is a pending case for genocide, by the way, but has also provided political support and is really engaging into mafia-style intimidation of so many who are trying to stop it.
Now we go back to our guest discussion with Yeshaya Rosenman. He's an Israel journalist joining us live from Jerusalem. Thank you, Yeshaya, for staying with us. Now, how feasible is the call for the full suspension of political and economic ties with Israel, according to you?
0%. It will not happen. The countries that are already hostile, there are countries, many countries who do not have diplomatic relations with us, mostly in the Islamic world. There are countries who, primarily because of large Muslim voting banks, they take various actions against Israel. One example would be UK, but even UK, you have to understand, is a primary ally with the Israeli intelligence. So they put on a big show of reprimanding Israel and all sorts of theatrics, anti-Israel theatrics, but in practice, UK is a prime partner with Israeli intelligence in all issues of intelligence. So again, I think much of this, first of all, there are countries that won't even pay lip service, that like Trump's America is aligned with Israel, but even other countries that will pay lip service and make all sorts of theatrical gestures against Israel. Many of them need Israel and partner with Israel. So I don't think very many countries will heed to this call to boycott Israel.
Thank you very much, Yeshaya, for joining us today and sharing your insight throughout our news. Now we move on to our next news. In a statement, Iran's parliament